think it's good to start with explaining who we are, who I am. I'm Gerben van Straaten. People call me Wallace as well. That's because we work with a lot of indigenous peoples. With some of them we got really close and we helped them work at business development and their little urban developments in their sections. They gave me the name Wallace, which means the great grizzly bear. It's a person that, wanders off, doesn't do any harm, but goes his own course. And that's what I wanted to do in urban development as well. Wallace is now a group of 30 companies. It's about 6 to 7 years old in this new group. And we're in sustainable urban development. That's all we want to do. And we basically do it in 3 ways. The first is very important, and that's where I really touched with Earth Charter in the beginning. It's what we call global stage. I believe that we have to go out there, talk to countries, talk to cities, talk to big companies, and inspire them, persuade them, show them how they can work with sustainability and how important it is to make the right choices. And for me, right choices really come back to what the Earth Charter teaches us or what it offers to us. The second thing that we're doing is basically the other side. So the global stage that I talked about is, let's say, think global, inspire globally. But I also believe in the fact that you have to show it too. Leadership by example means you have to do it somewhere. Urban development is in a city, is in a street, is in a neighborhood. And so that's where Wallace is strong too. We want to do those projects. We want to see that we can slowly make a difference. We want to basically leave no one behind. And of course, none of our projects is perfect, but we try to be perfect. And we use the guide of the Earth Charter and Earth Charter cities to get there. This is what we call act local. The other side is the think global. And in the middle is what we call the missing middle. It's very important for us to offer 2 things. One is knowledge about cities, big data, analysis. So that's something that we are trying to do as well, which is a new branch for us. And the other side is access to innovations. The whole world is full of small companies with great ideas for the future of our Earth, community of life, better climate, better materials, better involvement of people. We want to have a network where we represent as many of them as we can, so we can offer solutions to the global stage if a city wants to do better, but it also offers solutions for ourselves in our projects. So this basically describes what Wallace wants to be, sustainable urban development. And of course there's a reason why we got to that place. I've personally about 25 years of experience in big projects and urban projects. And all that time I found that it's one of the big industries that's just not as good as we want it to be, or maybe very bad at some points. I compare it to the big energy industries. I compared it to the big financial industries. And I decided after the crisis of 2008 that it was really time to do things differently. Cities are not about big buildings. It's not about how much money shareholders make. It's not about big towers and density and all that stuff. It's about how people live there, how they want to pursue their happiness, how they can co-design their own space, how they're involved in creating the future for themselves. That starts in one street, that starts in a few houses, that starts in working with your neighbors. And if we're talking about neighbors, I always love to go back to my early roots. I come from a small part of the east of Holland. And in the old days when I grew up, there was a system there that they called neighborism. Neighbors were really obliged to take care of each other. 6 neighbors on each side, in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west. They had to take care of you. And that meant that, if you had trouble with your harvest, the neighbors would take care of you. If there was a baby born, the neighbors would take care of mom and the baby. If you were sick, the neighbors would take care of a soup and came to you. And I think that's what the world needs. The other thing is I'm from Holland. Holland Netherlands used to be 40% below sea level. And now they say maybe 60% below sea level. Or if Al Gore and everybody in the climate science is right, maybe fully below sea level. But we're used to that in some parts for 2,000 years already. And it really does not help to build a dike in front of your own house. You know, you have to talk to your neighbors, you have to talk to the next village. You really have to work together. And at this day and age, we're not just below sea level, we're below carbon level, we're below energy levels. There's so many things that hunt us down that we really have to collaborate. And that's what I'd like to say, you know, we have to collaborate or die. You really have to really work together to, you know, to battle against the big problems that we have in this life. And the only thing that I know is urban development. Try to build urban communities that do really well. Try to collaborate with people in the street, with the governments, with the city, with the next business. And again, we are never perfect, but we always try to do better tomorrow. This is where Wallace is. This is where we try to inspire others. You know, this is the future of where I think urban development should go.